Okay, today we're going to be roasting with the Behmor 1600 roaster. I've had this thing for about a year and it's pretty good. And I've got some. We're going to do Ethiopia. Green coffee beans from Sweet Maria's. Awesome place. And let's do our measurements. Just a really old postal scale. Digital does the job. I'm looking for about 12 ounces. I only roast 3/4 pound. Make the math easy. So there's 7. This thing is level. Sits on the washer. This little divot here goes right there. Isn't that perfect? Open this up. We got 7 ounces here. Only need about 5 more for a 3/4 pound. So my hands are clean. Woo! 5. So there's a 3/4 pound. The reason why I do not do a full pound is I've been caught before with the roaster not completing the entire cycle for a full pound and pretty much wasted all that coffee. That was a bummer. A little tricky getting this thing in there, but it's fine. Put in the chaff catcher. Woohoo! And I keep this thing unplugged when I'm not using it. And let's turn this guy on. I keep track of the roast that I do. Today is March 4th. It is an Ethiopian bean. And per the Behmor roaster, I already looked in the manual and looked up. It's going to be a P3C. 3/4 pound is all I put in there, but I'm going to set it for 1 pound. What does all that mean? Basically, roast weight in pounds. I'm going to select 1 and program C for the African beans and P3. And what that does, it doesn't keep a constant heating on the bean the entire time. It'll heat, then it'll back off, then it'll heat and back off. So better for the African beans. So 1 pound, C, P3, and let's go. My Behmor has started to make that noise when I first start it. So usually when I shut it off and then start again, see P3 start, and then the second time it doesn't make that noise. I don't know why. And here we go. Little over 17 minutes for this roast. It's not always exactly what shows on the timer. If you've roasted coffee before, you listen for the first crack. And I'm probably going to take this roast to city to full city, which is a little bit beyond first crack. And we're back. We're on the countdown, 14:40, and you can probably see the beans are a little darker green. We're not quite to the tan stage yet. But on the program P3, that's heating that it does. Hot now, hot now, hot, hot, hot. And then that'll back off. And so you get a much slower roast. Nicer for these African Ethiopian beans. Here we are at about 11 minutes to go. And you can see the beans are getting to be a light tan. And also starting to smell the roasting. And here we are about 8.5 minutes to go. And starting to smell a little bit more of the roasting coffee beans. Smells getting a bit stronger. And the beans are getting a little bit darker. Just a bit past the tan stage. And I'm going to increase the time just a bit, because I've been caught short before, where it ran out of time, but we didn't even hit first crack. So the nice thing about the Behmor is you can increase the time, and just keep an eye on the beans on the roasting process. Starting to get smoky in here now. So I usually have a fan going out to the garage. And also it has a smoke reduction system in here. It works great. I used to have an air popper and I did coffee beans in that, and that was really smoky. This, you can still smell it. I really wouldn't suggest doing this inside the house. I'm in a little utility room that has a fan on the ceiling, and I put a fan here pushing the air out the garage door. And also I put a blanket under the door into the house because it is smoky, and I usually don't just hang around in here. I go out just outside the door to get some fresh air and then come back in. You would think that roasting coffee smells really, really good, but actually during the process it's pretty pungent. Still just a bit darker than tan, so here's when I get a bit nervous and increase the time. And we'll come back in a bit. And we're back. Quite a bit more smoky, and beans are starting to get darker, slowly but surely. I'm going to increase the time again, and it's time to turn on the vent fan. Smoke's getting a little bit more intense. And we'll be back. Alright, starting to get even smokier in here. And you can see the beans are getting darker. Not quite first crack yet. See, and now it won't let me bring the time up anymore. So seeing how dark the beans are, I don't think it's going to stall. We'll be fine. It'll take it all the way through first crack. And I keep a cheat sheet on my door that goes over the city, city plus, full city, all the stages of roasting. And here we've got first crack. First crack started, and because of this roast profile, the heat backed off a bit, but it'll come up here a little bit more. And when the heat starts up again, it just goes crazy. Crack, 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 crack. And my favorite roast is just past first crack, not going into second. There's the heat again. And yeah, the smoke is getting more pungent. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it gets a bit more intense. Here we are there. Now it's going crazy. Crack, 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 crack. This is fun. And so it's basically using all senses. You can smell it, I can see the smoke, hear it. And I think I'm going to take this to City Plus, which is after first crack complete. And so we got 4 minutes left on the time, which is great. No more cracking. I'm going to set it to cool, because we're good. That's all the further I want to take it. And you can still hear the cracking, of course, because it's still pretty hot in there. And just what I found, the roasting really doesn't stop until about 2 minutes into the cooling, because it's so flipping hot in there. But you can hear the cracking stop. That's good. And here we're cooling. And yep, quite a bit of smoke in here. That's why I keep the fan going, open the garage door a bit, try to blow it out. And we got 12 minutes left on the cooling, so we'll be back. Alright, 3 minutes to go in the cooling process. And we're cooling. Still pretty smoky in here. Each bean has its own characteristic, and these were pretty smoky. And quite a bit of chaff. We'll see that when we open the door. I'll be back. Alright, into the cooling process. There we go. It turns off by itself, and it's pretty cool. Literally, you're able to touch. It isn't hot anymore. And I use a shop vac, little portable vac, and this is going to be loud, so I'll probably cut the sound. And yep, this stuff gets everywhere. Alright. Yeah, I put it on top of my washer. This little thing just fits right there. Perfect. Awesome. Shake some of that chaff off. And that portable vacuum was the best idea ever. I got that off YouTube. Can't remember who. Sorry, dude. Back that up. Alright. Whee! Open it. Quite a bit of chaff, not too much. So this was about City Plus, just past first crack. Still a little bumpy on the top, and there's a nice crack right there on the end of that guy. I have cheat sheets up from Sweet Maria's. Awesome. I go by these a lot. So this is about City Plus. Another cheat sheet here. After the first crack completes, City Plus. So in jars, just food jars, I clean up and then hot glue some material over them. Isn't that cute? And put in the beans. Usually fills up one jar perfectly. 3/4 pound to start. Get in there. Clean this guy out. Definitely don't want to start a fire next time I put this in because there's a bunch of chaff left in there. That guy there. And yeah, looks good. Close him up. Just set him right there because I'm going to do another batch. Clean this up. Isn't that easy? There we go. Fresh roasted coffee. Yum, 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 yum.